Good damn evening, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. I'll wait a couple minutes to get this little live stream more populated, as they say. Is that the technical term for it? But shout out to everybody who's here. My man Christian, what's up? My Canadian connection, America's a hack. Yeah, fucking hoser. The Ferg, what's up? Yes, get ready to rumble, man. It's been a busy week, a busy news cycle. So much shit going on. If you guys do me a favor, if it happened, I thought I fixed it. But if you see YouTube with another live stream that says I'm going to be there, you get those people over here, because here is where I am. And if you're not here, you're in the wrong damn spot. Man. So much shit happened this week. I don't know if I could cover it all, because I want to make sure each topic gets the time that it deserves, gets the time in the spotlight that it deserves. Maybe I'll save some of them for a later post, or maybe I'll do a video on them. But man, a lot of juicy bits, shall we say. My man Anders Hagberg. Hey, Jericho from Sweden, 3:30 a.m. Man, I really appreciate that, because, you know, normally people are sleeping during those hours. So thank you for being up with me, man. I really appreciate it. Mike, what's good, Jericho? A lot, man. Oh, Mike, MYK, and then Mike from Ohio. Hello, Jericho. What's up, man? I appreciate it. Gonna be a lot of shit going on. Gonna get in that ass like a bike with no seat, okay? That's how it has to be. So many things going on. Let's see. Howdy. What's up? Hello, everyone. Leo, appreciate it. Tony, Indiana. Oscar Gonzalez. You know, I used to live in Monterey County. There was a town there called Gonzales, and everybody in the area called it Gonza. Kathy. Hey, Green. Hey, Kathy. Texas Meg. All blue hearts. What's up? Hey, brother, what's happening? That's from my man Lance. What's happening with you, Lance? Let's get ready, man. It's going to get crazy. Hayden, Jericho, my mans. What's up? Big Bite Beach, Jericho Green. Yes. Everybody, come on in. The water is fine. But, yeah, speaking of Gonza, Big Pie hitting us up from Newcastle, California. Hershey, Pennsylvania. Kelly Jones. So, yeah, it's called South County. So Salinas, and then all the towns, or a handful of towns after that, is known as South County. So you got Soledad, which everybody called Chole. You got Gonzales, which everybody called Gonza. Greenfield, everybody called it Greenfas. I mean, not everybody, but if you're from the area, that was common to hear it called Greenfas. What else? Watsonville was called Watson. Castroville was called Castro. Puro Castro, eh? Oh, man. The 831. What a wild place. Welcome, my man Christian. What's up again? 5 Bones said, Iron Mike laying down some justice. Yo, we definitely going to talk about that shit, because I don't know who in their right mind. But the dude was drunk, so you would have to have some chemical, something ingested in your body to make your brain say, hey, let's go fuck with him. Leo, what's up, man? He said that bunny had to be Jill. Oh, we're going to talk about that shit, too, because as you saw in the title, the Easter Bunny is our real president. You thought it was that full? No. Apparently, from what we saw, the Easter Bunny is running shit. He's not just in charge of hiding eggs. Apparently, he's in charge of this country. DB Telecom, what's up from Maricopa, Arizona? JG needs to do the classic airhole intro. Democrat politicians. Yeah, man, DB, you must have been down with me for a long time, because I used to say in the intro to my videos, Jericho Green here giving you that uncircumcised commentary deep in your ear hole to the bristle. You're gonna need to put a napkin right here, so when I'm done, you just clean that shit up. Thank you, DB, for being with me. Shit, since the beginning, if you remember that shit. Robin's Review, what's up? Robin, Jericho, howdy from Texas, the great state of Texas, except for Austin. Your Mike Tyson video earlier made me laugh out loud when you were talking about how that boy should be ordering his sandwich after that. For real. For real. If it was as I said in the video, if it was the old Mike Tyson, if it was the I'm unscrupulously unscrupable, that Mike Tyson from back in the day that we were all scared of, don't lie, because none of us would have said shit to Mike Tyson back in the 80s and 90s. If it was that Tyson, he had enough room to really get his stance, get those hands going. Yeah, dude would have been fucked up. His answer to every question would be, Dad! That's it. That's all he could muster, because Tyson would have fucking turned his brain into pudding. He did that to a lot of people. Kenner, Strife, hi from Florida. What's up, Florida? When did you guys become the greatest damn state in the union? My goodness. We'll be talking about that too, because Florida had something to say to Disney since they want to stick their mouse nose in everybody else's business. Well, it got slapped. It sure did. Dory, Rodriguez, Jericho, YouTube be screwing up when you schedule live streams. Yeah, for real, because even my wife, she told me today that they had on there that I had a live stream scheduled for April 20th for 420. It's not true. I do my live streams every Friday, 6:30 West Coast time, Pacific Standard Time. And like I also said, I had to go in there because they had two of them. One that I put up there, and then another one that I didn't recognize that was put up there for today. So, man, I don't know what they be doing with that shit. I don't know. Green Soji St. John says green for U.S. Senate. Yeah, if they can handle me, that's not the problem. I think the people would enjoy my service. It sounds weird, but yeah, they're public servants, so yeah, you know, I would definitely serve the people to the best of my ability because I know what it's like to not be served to the best of their ability. Lance, tell me about the butterscotch eating resident chief. I'll get to that. We'll talk about him with the bunny issue. I wish I was making that up. I wish that was just some funny shit that somebody made up that we could all joke about. But the Easter Bunny is in charge of the president of the United States. We all saw that shit. David Lovelace, Tim Bones, thank you. What's up, shitmate? What's your opinion on the Johnny Depp trial and him basically standing up for men's rights and relationships that are plagued with domestic violence abuse from female partners? Yeah, man, ain't that some shit? You would think that Johnny Depp, rich, famous, he don't deal with no bullshit in his life, but apparently he does. His ex-wife getting a little touchy-feely. I remember hearing about the case when they first split up. I haven't been following it too closely right now, but I have seen things in the news about it, and who would have thought somebody wearing that many bracelets and rings would be standing up for men's rights? But whoever, let them know, because there was a time where domestic violence was looked down upon and was punished very severely. There was a time where they were wanting to give people the death penalty for domestic violence, both men and women. It used to be a lot more community outcry, public outcry about domestic violence against men, because I know we're tougher and we could probably take the hit, but that doesn't mean you need to be putting your fucking hands on people. Remember, your home is supposed to be a place of refuge. All the going against the current, all the tumultuous things that happen in your life are supposed to be happening out there. When you come in here, both partners are supposed to do the best, to the best of their ability to be peaceful at home. Be somewhere where you can decompress, recharge, and get ready to go back out and fight the world. You don't need that shit at home, both verbally, mentally, or physically. And if she put her hands on him, then she needs to pay just the way he would if he put his hands on her. Because we all know if a man puts his hands on a woman, that's a no-no, right? Well, shit, equality, right? Keep your fucking hands to yourself. Dory, what's up? Can you explain that 420 scheduled live stream? Yeah. I just saw this. Sorry, I just talked about it. It was weird. I was waiting for 48 hours. I don't know. When I go in there and schedule a live stream, I will be sure to double check and make sure they didn't put another one. But when I go in there and schedule one, I schedule just one. I have no reason to schedule more than one. But for some reason, they're duplicating that shit and they're messing it up. I do not know why. Okay, so a couple more super dupers, and then we'll get into the menu, shall we? So Larry, the lobster, what's up? Love your videos, man. Keep it up. Thank you, Larry. And DB Telecom again, thank you. Listen to the Daniel Barrera podcast, and you'll like my possible app in the future. It's going to be like Twitter, but with physical consequences. Some people on Twitter do need those. So yeah, one thing that I will talk about very shortly is the ride along that I had this past Tuesday with the Yuba City Police Department. The officer that I rode along with was Officer Braley. C. Braley all day. That's a good dude. I'll tell you why I think that. And Ilhan Omar, that whole thing where she's talking shit about the Christians on the plane and they're singing during the flight and all that. Was it chartered? We'll get into that. CNN Plus should have been CNN minus subscribers. They are taking a shit only 30 days in. They're already folding, and they put, I've heard estimates between $300 and $500 million into CNN Plus, and it's taking a shit only a month out of the box. I would have taken 1% of that money and done a whole lot more with this platform than CNN Plus did. What a piece of shit. Zion Wade. I'm not subscribing to that Zaya bullshit. That's a little boy. And if you didn't see the video from earlier this week, his dad or his mom, whoever, posted pictures of him and his 14-year-old boy, girlfriend, whatever, kissing. That's weird. 14 is too damn young. No more masks on airplanes and airports. Imagine that. And there are people who had a problem with that. Weird. Biden's bailout bunny, what I was talking about earlier with the Easter bunny being in charge of this country. And you probably already know about it, but we'll talk about that too. And there was an 8-year-old boy arrested in Syracuse, New York. And somehow they found a way to take that fruit and squeeze the juices, the sweet nectar of racism from that. Fucking shame. Rubio, the Cocker Spaniel, $4.99. Appreciate it. Let's go Easter. But yeah, I mean, at this point, what if it was Biden on the ballot versus the Easter Bunny or a Easter Bunny? You know who I'm voting for. They love carrots, 2 big ears. Tyson, of course, punching the shit out of that drug dumbass on the airplane. He deserved it. In case you don't know, I am Team Tyson all day long. Yeah, oh man, Tyson's a trained fighter. He shouldn't have done that. No, you know he's a trained fighter. You shouldn't have done that. These savages, I would call them animals, but animals don't even do that shit. So that would be an insult to animals. But these savage barbarians who are worthy of a life-size wood chipper killed a 51-year-old security guard in Atlanta. I'll go into the details of that. It was fucking horrifying, and it's not something that we should be seeing in the greatest country on earth. And Florida, like I said earlier, they gave Disney this right here, the back of the hand, the 4 knuckles. They gave it to them. Whether or not they used baby powder first, I don't know. They don't deserve baby powder, but Florida went ahead and gave the backhand right across the chops, right across the rodent chops of Disney, because they wanted to stick their nose in business that didn't concern them. But before we get into all of that smorgasbord, Recoil TV, Rumble, Spotify, those are places you can find me. Like and subscribe and like. And before I get out of here, I was in the most recent edition of Concealment. This, like I said, Recoil TV. They also have a Recoil magazine, and they came out with some issues on concealment. And I'm in issue number 26. We'll be talking about that shit. But before we start that, got to give a big shout out to Item 9 Soap Company. My man David, he sent me some of the products. I had a few videos back. I was like, man, I need something for the beard, to moisturize it, nurture it, take care of it. And he sent me some beard balm and some oil. Works great, smells great. And I've seen a noticeable difference. I appreciate that, Dave. Item 9 Soap Company. So the ride along with Officer C. Braley, Yuba City Police Department. Now, I mentioned last week, and I haven't made any videos about it. This is the first place that I'm talking about it, that I'm going. in depth about the ride-along that I did. It's the first time that I'm talking about it is here on the live stream. So Yuba City, it's about 45 minutes, 40 minutes or so outside of Sacramento. And so rewind, we'll go back to the beginning. My son plays on a t-ball team, and one of the kids on his t-ball team, his dad is a Yuba City police officer. And he invited me over to his pad opening day, big Yankees fan. Well, big, that's an understatement. Gigantic, Godzilla-sized Yankee fan. And Officer Braley, he's a Red Sox fan, so you can imagine the back and forth that was going on because they play each other opening day. But he invited me over there, got to talking with the guys. Shout out to my man Mike, too. He was there. And Officer Braley, C. Braley, was like, man, you should do a ride-along. And I've heard about them. We all know what they are. We may have known people who have done it. Usually it's somebody who wants to go into law enforcement. But I was like, that's a good idea. I support law enforcement here. Of course, I'm not no blind follower. There are bad officers. There's bad everything. And like I was talking to C. Braley, way more people get killed by doctors and surgeons, but there's bad people that don't perform their jobs properly in every profession. But even still, I wanted more of an understanding of what they do, more of an appreciation for what they do. So I took him up on it. I hit him up about a few days after that. He told me his next shift. We made some plans. Boom. I told him I'd meet him there at 5:30. I was there. I went to the briefing room and got to talk with some of the officers that were sitting around. It's exactly that. It's a room where they talk about different things that they're going to do, things that are upcoming, trainings. There's even this screen in there that lets them know the calls that are coming in and where they are. And you know how it is when you're about to have a meeting at work and everybody starts showing up, everybody starts filing in, start talking about things, talk some shit, build camaraderie in various ways. It was very cool, man. It was very cool to see the human side of the officers. And a lot of them are young, very young. One of them, I almost carded him just to make sure he should be in here hearing this stuff. Very young dude. But they want to help. They want to do the right thing. We probably had 3 actual calls, but the rest of the time we spent together was what I would call maintenance, checking areas, checking on people. He had a very good rapport with some of the homeless population there. He recognized a lot of them from a distance by first and last name. There was a lady that we had an encounter with, and she was behind a structure. And instead of going in like, hey, what are you doing here? Shining like, hey, get out of here or anything like that. He was cool with, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Where are you from? And she got to explaining her situation, and you know, she was had fallen on some hard times, and he was very cool with her. He was trying to help her. He offered services to her. She was talking about she was injured. He offered medical services to her, and she refused it all. She said, no, I'm good. I can walk now. I'm just trying to get over here to handle A, B, and C. It was a very good interaction, and it was very smart to interact with her in that way, not only to build rapport, but there could be a time where she could help. She saw something, she heard something, or whatever. But it was good to see that community outreach. Cops aren't just hammers. Sometimes they need to be scalpels, and they are. The first call we got was a suspicious vehicle. Show up to this car that's parked there. It's a nice area. It's parked the wrong way. That's a red flag. Well, not necessarily a red flag, but that stands out to everybody. When you know the flow of parked cars and you see one parked in the other direction, that's going to catch your attention. So these people called suspicious vehicle. So the people, we get there, there's 2 other officers already there. So they got the people out of the car, or the guy was still in the car, but the officer was talking. Other officer was talking to him. Eventually, he gets him out of the car, and they call somebody in from the house, from out of the house, check, hey, what are you doing here? Blah blah blah. The people called, reported the vehicle. They ended up being from out of state. There was a Louisiana license plate on the car, and the tint was super dark. I guess Louisiana obviously doesn't have the strict tinting laws, the window tint laws that they have in California. So there was opportunity. If the cops really wanted to be to the letter of the law, they could have made something of it. And these were young people of color. And so the table was set, right? POCs, white cops, quiet back street, offset from the main road. These black folks were supposed to die. They were supposed to get shot. They were supposed to get their faces mashed into the pavement under the boot of that racist boss hog police officer, right? That's what they tell us. LeBron said that we are hunted. He said because a cop had a bad morning, he had an argument with his wife, his kids weren't listening, so he says, I'm going to go out and kill a black person. That's the thought process of dumbass people like that. That's what happens when you're passed through school because you're a jock and they don't make you learn shit. You think that because a cop has a bad morning with his wife and kids, he's going to go out and murder someone. But that's what they say, don't they? BLM, I'm sorry if we're being truthful, CBLM, certain Black Lives Matter. They say these cops are out to shoot us. We got targets on our back. There are a bunch of Elmer Fuds out here, and we are the wascally wabbits. And we got targets on our back. And all these cops know how to do is gun us down. And it's all their fault because of systemic racism or some shit, right? They can't help it. It's in them. When they put on that uniform, they could be a saint, but when that uniform hits their back, they put that shit on and button it up. They put that utility belt on. The gun, that taser, the cuffs, oh shit, they can't help it. That racism just bubbles to the surface. They can't contain themselves. That's what they say. But that's not what I saw. But Jericho, of course, you're a YouTuber, so they're going to put on a show. They're going to put on their Sunday best for you. That's not the vibe I got. You know when somebody's bullshitting. You know when something's fake. You got a kid? Next time they do something they're not supposed to do, ask them, what were you doing in there? Huh? You know they're lying. It's painful to watch. But they told us that simply because they are white cops, they are racist, and they are hell-bent on taking my ability to draw oxygen from the atmosphere. That's not what I saw. I saw compassion. I saw a want to make their community a better and safer place. I saw the way that they police being changed by politicians who are completely out of touch and don't see the results of their policy, who don't have to live under the results of their policies. That's what I saw. I saw people with families. I saw us stop in a park that when you roll up on it, you know what I mean? If you get out of your car to go play at this park, you're locking that door. It was a shady ass looking park. Some homeless people around there. It looked like the park in the hood. That shit looked crazy. We go over there, there's a pit bull sitting on the table. There's a group of these homeless dudes, and he knew homeboy by name. He had a history with him. Asked about his brother and his sister. The dude even said, hey, man, that one girl, so-and-so, yeah, man, she likes you. She keeps asking about you, man. He's like, oh, man, my girlfriend will kill me. He had a rapport, he had a relationship with these people. And the dude was a former gangbanger. He was Mexican. He was a person of color. He was a black or brown body. So he was supposed to come out guns blazing, show me your fucking hands. Boom, 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 boom. Take a little pistol out of his ankle holster, put the dead dude's prints on it, and frame him. That's what he's supposed to do, right? That's what they say. That's what they tell us. Not what I saw. And so one of the calls we went to, the suspicious vehicle, which ended peacefully. Hey, man, be careful of that tent. Somebody might ticket you for that. It's too dark for California regulations. How long are you guys going to be out here? Just casual conversation. Nobody put their hands on each other. Nobody yelled. There were no racial slurs. Nothing. Everybody was cool. And you know why everybody was cool? Because the people that were in this suspicious vehicle, they were cool. They were calm. They were respectful. So the officers mirrored that attitude. Everybody went their separate ways, alive, not upset. So I can either go by what they say or what I see, what I live, what I experience. Another call was a guy who was deceased. Before I get into that, Fox, Don Star, 10 Bones, thank you. What's your opinion on pit bulls and if they're safe, and what should be the penalty for a pit bull owner if the dog attacks somebody? Hold on a second. Let me write down where I'm at in my thoughts so I don't forget. Okay. So since I mentioned that there was a pit bull on the table, my personal thought on pit bulls. Well, when I was in junior high school, there was this kid who was 3 years older than me. He was a neighbor named Jason. What's up, Jason? And he had this dog, and it was a brindle pit bull. You know that the brown ones with like the brown with the black tiger stripe. He had a little pit bull, and his bus would come before my bus. So when I'm coming down my driveway, just starting to walk, his house was a couple hundred yards up ahead. So I'd see him come flying down his driveway on his bike. He takes off, and the dog was usually with him. And the dog would stop, come back towards me, and he'd call him, hey, whatever, I can't remember the stupid ass dog's name. And he'd call him, and he'd turn around and go back with him. So he would get on the bus. So I'm walking to the bus stop. The pit bull is coming back home. So I remember one time in particular, he sees me, drops his head, gets in that attack mode, and he comes running at me. And I ran toward him because I figured, fuck it, we're going to play chicken. Somebody's got to move. And so I figured maybe he thought I was scared, so I'll show him that I wasn't. So I started running toward him. I shit you not. He keeps coming. Neither one of us chicken out. I jump. I look down and watch him run underneath me. I land, turn around, and he just takes off and goes up the hill. This happened a lot. I nearly got attacked by this fucking dog at least 5 times. So that's my first experience. Another experience I had, a family member of ours had one. They were out of town. We were watching it. The bed was up against the fireplace. The dog's bed was up against the fireplace. So it was like at an angle. It was like this or like that. It didn't look comfortable. It wasn't flat on the ground. So I'm like, well, let me pull it away from the fireplace so that it'll be flat and the dog will be comfortable. I know this dog. This ain't my first time meeting this dog. I pet it. I've been with him and his owner, him by himself. They had a daughter, 2 kids at the time. I've been around the whole family. I know this dog, okay? I go to reach and pull the bed away. The dog snaps at me. So based on my experiences with pit bulls, personally, I don't like them. I don't like pit bulls. I'll never own one. Hey, if you do own one, I don't give a shit. Hopefully it's well behaved. But there's the whole conversation of nature versus nurture with pit bulls. Are they aggressive by nature, or do people make them that way? Do bad owners make them that way? And I know another friend of mine that's a pit bull. There was a pit bull walk through the city we used to live in one time, where all these people got their pit bulls of various breeds and sizes, and they walked down what's called Old Town. They walked down Old Town, and with all their pit bulls to show that, they're pets just like any other pet. And I leave my kids with them, and they love us and all this kind of stuff. But you cannot deny the fact that pit bulls attack people more than any other breed. And, here come all the people. Oh, well, actually, whatever. I'm telling you what I've seen, what I've read, and my opinions on pit bulls. I don't like them. I think not only a pit bull, but if any dog bites someone and the injuries are severe enough, then that dog needs to be put down. It's dog. It's a dog. Its life is not as important as a human's. So if we have a dog that has a propensity for biting, well, then something needs to be done. You can't have people around them living in fear. Or what if it attacks a kid? You know, we've seen. I saw one a few months ago. I don't know how new the story is, but this little boy pulled a pit bull off of his sister's face, is all Frankenstein looking with stitches and shit like that. So some breeds are more aggressive than others. That's the truth. Why do you think when they make Homeward Bound, it wasn't a pit bull? It was a golden retriever. Those are more friendly, happy-go-lucky dogs. And pit bulls aren't the only breed that do Akitas and stuff like that, chows. But hey, the pit bulls are in the spotlight. For some reason, they're the ones that we all look at, but they do attack people more than any other breed. It's usually pretty severe because of their jaw muscle structure and their muscle structure and whatever. It's the card they were dealt. But if a dog attacks somebody or they have a history of it, maybe it's bitten a couple other people and they weren't bad bites. Maybe they were just, soft bites. They didn't break the skin or barely broke the skin. I don't know. This thing is building a history of biting people, and human lives are more important than animal lives. So if there's an animal that shows a knack for biting people, a history for biting, that dog needs to be put down, period. We're more important. That's what I think. Tatsunami. Thank you very much. Swiss francs. Is that what that is? What the 20 is? Whatever it is. I don't care what it is. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Let's see, a couple more. Melissa, what's up? 10 Bones, thank you. Hey, Jericho. I'm usually up too early to go live with you. 2 hours time difference. I made myself stay up to see you. Thank you. I hope I don't disappoint, Melissa. Thank you very much. Preach. The kids still say that? Preach. We're going to get some Starbs. I remember one time I was at a party and these girls were like, we're going to go get some Starbs. I was like, what the fuck is that? Starbucks. Now I know, but that shit was crazy. So anyway, before I get to this next super chat, I see you. So the other call that we had was a 51-year-old man, deceased. I didn't go into the home, just because I was with him on the ride along does not mean I had all access to every part of the call, of course, out of respect for the family. I stayed out. He did his thing. And there's a whole process. Something else I didn't know. They got to wait for this person to show up and then this person to show up. And then depending on where it is, they got to wait for this person to come pick up the body. But if there aren't enough people on staff, then this person takes over the responsibility of taking the body or processing the body. And then it's a whole thing. I didn't realize. The first responders were there. And I even ran into those same first responders at the third call that we had. So anyway, the guy was deceased. Very unfortunate. I also saw that all too familiar process after somebody dies. The people pulling up. Somebody was outside on their phone like this, rubbing their head, just walking back and forth. So they're obviously delivering that bad news to somebody else. People crying. And it was also weird because they were in there. The front door is open, so you can kind of see what's going on in that little space. And then I look over, and there's a little boy standing on the windowsill on the window side of the curtains. It's strange. But yeah, so to watch that whole process, we were all very familiar with that. You know what it's like to get that call, to show up to the house, that weird silence that's in the house. You can hear the refrigerator buzzing and the hugs, and I'm so sad. It's just, death is just fucked up. Life's a bitch. But my heart goes out to that family. It's very unfortunate. And so young, 51. And then the third call that we went to was, okay, so check this out. So again, going around checking shit out, he showed me some of the real shady parts of town. And so we go around to the back of this building. There's a group of homeless people here. And then there's one homeless person over here to our left by themselves. And there was a car straight ahead, probably 25 yards away. So he goes up. We didn't see the car at first. So he goes up to this group of people. He's cool with them. Hey, what's going on, guys? And I can't really hear him talking. I'm in the car. And he's dealing with them and everything, flashing his light on their stuff, not in their face. just flashing them this light on their shit, trying to see what's going on. Everybody looks like they're disbanding. And then this car takes off when he sees us. So he's like, oh, no, that was a little too suspicious. And then, while we're driving around, we're talking. I'm asking him questions. Oh, how can I forget this? Shout out to C. Braley. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran. Thank you for your service, man. Thank you for serving this country. It's too bad you picked the Air Force. Should have went Navy. But hey, we're not all perfect. But thank you very much, man. Shout out to the Air Force. So the car takes off. Oh, no, it smells fishy. So the car goes and it pulls into a gas station. We're kind of hanging back. Pulls into a gas station. He calls into the unit. We're waiting for them to show up so he can hit up this car, see what's going on. And before we can do that, I hear come over the radio, shots fired. So, and he was like, oh, I got to take this call, but damn, I want to get this fool. Obviously, you got to take the shots fired. Man, we take off. And I'm not no motion sickness, none of that. When I was younger, and I was in Sea Cadets. We went out on the ocean one time. We did a burial at sea for the U.S. Coast Guard. And I'll never forget there was an admiral on board named Admiral Applebottom. But it was like, it was like this, and then you hear the slapping of the water up against the boat. Oh, fuck, man. Getting seasick is the worst. But if you could put that feeling in a pill, or the feeling of a hangover in a pill, you'll never need to waterboard someone again. Give them the pill that makes them feel like they got a hangover or they're seasick. They'll tell you whatever you want to know. But when I was younger, I did. Once I got in the Navy, maybe because the ship was bigger, I don't know, because, we call it the Coast Guard got them little ships, little puddle pirates. And so when I got in the Navy, I didn't have that problem. But when we were going to the shots fired, oh, yeah, I was feeling sick as hell for a second because, pedal to the metal. Whoa, we're taking off. But you come to an intersection, you got to kind of slow, make sure there's no cross traffic. So the motion of slowing and then whoa, taking off like 2 or 3 times. I was like, hey, C. Braley, oh, we get there soon. You have to let me out. But we get there, and it was, I spoke to some of the officers. We were there for a while. And the reason we were there for a while, again, we have to look at what they tell us about cops and what we see about cops. And again, everybody, if you have the chance, if you have the opportunity and you have the time, do a ride along with your local police department or your sheriff's department. They will welcome you. They want you to see what they do. All the people anti-cop, defund the police. Before you let that defund the police shit run out of that disgusting hole under your nose, one more time, do a ride along. Do it. See what these cops deal with. Nobody ever calls the cops because they're having a wet t-shirt contest and they need judges. It's the worst point in their life. Violence, death, destruction, mistreatment. That's what these people deal with every single day. Before you talk shit on a cop, do a ride along. So one of the reasons it took so long on the scene, and I ended up not being able to stay the whole time, it was after 10 o'clock, and they were going to be there for a long time. We had been there for 30, 45 minutes already. And one of the reasons it took so long, other than processing the crime scene, looking for the cartridges, taping off the area, doing that whole thing, was because the cops were trying to save this kid's life. Yes, these evil racist cops had another black or brown body, another person of color laid out on the pavement. And they're trying to save him. Chest compressions. They probably see some of their kids in this kid's face, his lifeless face on the sidewalk. One shot right here, center mass. That kid was gone, young. Life snuffed out, never to return. The permanence of death. That kid's gone. So again, that whole death process, notifying the family, the body, all that shit starting over again. And like I said before, I saw the same EMTs and firefighters from the other call we had. Here they come. Kid's laid out, talking to his friend, trying to get his friend to talk so they can find the one who killed him, so they can get him off the streets. No, he don't want to say nothing. He don't want to be no snitch. He don't want to have beef. Your friend didn't either. Fuck, that was sad. It's one thing to see it on TV, but it's another thing to be a few yards from it. It's another thing to be on the scene and watching everybody deal with it. watching the cops go around with their flashlights, trying to find cartridge casings and then, trying to put the crime together, dealing with the people around there, the emotions of it. It's crazy. But that's what these cops deal with every damn day. And something else that I learned was I got to see another side of homeless people, because we don't pull over and ask these homeless people, what's your story? What are you going through? We just don't. And I'm not saying that we should, but we don't. So to hear these people tell their story, and then the guy at that ghetto ass park I was telling you about, that gangbanger, homeboy had a teardrop. Used to be a big time thug, gangster, gangbanger. To hear their story, to hear how that guy might have ended up there, or to actually speak to him and see the human side of him. It's not going to change my opinion completely about homeless people, but it's good to see the other side, to talk to them. I felt like giving her the sweatshirt off my back. It was a little cold that night, but one of the things, you're not supposed to interact or speak to the people that they're dealing with. You're a fly on the wall. But I tell you what, if I run into her again out in the world, I'm going to offer to buy her something: food, shoes, clothes. It was fucked up to hear her story, to hear why she was on the streets, saying people were trying to kill her. Man, it was crazy. But shout out to these guys, to the Yuba City PD, doing their thing, and to listen to what all the training that they go through, and the inspections that their weapons have to go through before they use them, and all of these things that go into being a cop, and go into being the best cop that they can be. As I said at the top, there are some shitty ones, of course, no duh. All right, let's move past that. Do we need to say that puppies are cute and cancer's bad? No, we know that shit. But the overwhelming majority of police officers are out there doing a service to their community. As I've said before, we are not all built to run toward the screens. We are not. But defunding these police, you're out of your fucking mind. They need more funding, more training. I wish they had the resources for every officer to be a damn black belt in jiu-jitsu, so they could take these people down, take them out of the fight, like the guy last week or whatever, that police-involved shooting in Michigan with the African dude. Defunding is the wrong thing. And before you talk that defunding shit, go to the neighborhoods that need the cops most and see if they tell you they want the police department defunded. The criminals will. They want you to defund the shit out of the police. They want all the money taken from the police. They want the police gone. But the residents, no, they want the police there. They want more police because they're tired of being hostages in their own neighborhoods. They're tired of watching their homes that they grew up in become war zones. They want more police. They don't want you to defund the police. And a lot of these departments who did that shit are refunding the police. Because guess what? When the cat's away, the mice will commit crimes. Shout out to Saint Mountain. Thank you very much. In the late 80s, as a preteen at a McDonald's, a guy inside asked me and my friends if we wanted to be Americans or Americans. It always stuck with me. And years later, you brought it to attention. Love your views, bro. Yeah, man. Valid question. If you were born in America, you are an American, and you better. Don't spit in the face of this opportunity of being born in a country like this, because somebody will switch places with you like that. You know how many people want to be here? You know how many people want to be sitting in your seat right now? Literally. You better maximize this shit. Guitar Dude 777, what's up, man? He said maybe if CNN Plus could cover the idiot who shot up the subway, then they would have had viewers. Yeah, man. Aaron Smith, hey, love you, Jericho. What's up, girl? I appreciate it. And again, 10 bones from Aaron Smith. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we'll get into that real quick. So CNN Plus takes a shit. That's how I wrote it down on my list of shit right here. CNN Plus takes a shit. So a month ago, or not even a month ago, because it started, I think, at the beginning of this month, and then they were going to take it to, they plan on having around for a while. But come April 30th, It's over. It's over. No more CNN Plus. $300 to $500 million was put into that platform, into that streaming service, and they couldn't make it a month. Imagine the good they could have done with that money instead of wasting it on that bullshit TV station. They had 150,000 subscribers. Now, I'm not trying to brag or nothing, but I don't got that kind of backing, and I got twice as many subscribers as you got. Now, hold on. If you guys are a bastion of truth, and you are the ones looking out for the common man, and you are calling Trump to task, and all these evil conservatives and these far-right this and racist white supremacists and all that shit, then how come nobody's tuning in? How come nobody's tuning in to hear what's going on with these evil people who are in their midst? Or did people wake up and don't want to hear that bullshit no more, and then know that you are the enforcement arm of the leftists, of left-wingers, the far left? You're not looking out for us anymore. You don't give a shit about us. It's about being a tool for the far left, shaping people's opinion and behavior, browbeating them until they go get poked, or until they believe that white men are the most dangerous threat in America, and that boys are girls and biological men should be allowed to compete against women because they wanna, because I feel like it, because I think this is what I am this week. And I've been swallowing these Flintstone vitamins that you call whatever pill regimen they're supposed to be on, or testosterone reducer or whatever, that hardly ever work. I've been taking those for a year or two, so I should be able to roll around and wrestle with the girls, or race against the girls, or swim against the girls, even though they are garbage. They are garbage when they're men, and all of a sudden they're record breakers when they're women. Make that make sense. But despite all of that, despite all that money, damn, 300 to 500 million, and you guys couldn't last a month. Somebody's getting fired. Somebody is packing their shit up right now. Somebody is taking a family portrait and putting it upside down into their box of shit as they are escorted out by security. The security they used to high five on the way in is escorting their dumbass out because you had a part in that company losing $300 to $500 million in a month. CNN Plus, and all of its affiliates. I don't know if anybody's told you this, but you fucking suck. A month? It hasn't even been a month, because we're not even through the month and they're already announcing their closure. What did Chris Rock say? Grand opening, grand closing. You guys suck. BJ Sierra, what's up, man? I appreciate the 5 bones. Salute Jericho Green from Miami. Bienvenido a Miami. Thanks for always keeping it 100. Sorry, though, we ain't ready to give up DeSantis. I don't care if you're ready, VJ Sierra. I can't wait for that. If we wait for Floridians to be ready to give up DeSantis, we'll never get DeSantis. We must pull him from your grasp, from your Floridian grasp. We need to borrow your boy. Now, VJ Sierra, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your time and your donation. But we are taking, look right here, VJ, me and you. We are taking your boy from you 4 to 8 years, and we'll give him back. All right? But we need him. Okay? That is no bullshit. True business. I love the name. Thank you very much. And just moonwalks away. Thank you. I wish I could. When I was a kid, I could moonwalk pretty good. I remember the day. I think it was the 25th, the Motown 25th anniversary celebration. I remember watching Michael Jackson do the moonwalk for the first time. And the next day, there was flattened cardboard for as far as the eye could see of kids trying to do the moonwalk. All the penny loafers and bunched up socks all got broke out. Everybody was trying to do that shit. And he did it better than Billy Ocean and Caribbean Queen. There, I said it. Daniel, what's up, man? Hello, Jericho. Hello, Daniel. Let's see. Linda Washington, what's up? Good to see you, or good to hear from you, Linda. Hello from Texas. We're hanging on by our fingernails. Love you, Jericho. Hey, Texas, I mean, your Abbott, he seems to be cool. He's busting the illegals out. He's doing the things he should be, hopefully, from the outside looking in. I hope I'm right for your sake, Linda. But states like Texas and Florida and shit, you guys can't slip. You guys can't lose. Because if you lose, shit, what are we going to do? Cody LeBlue, Detroit is a shithole. Very true, Cody. Truer words have never been spoken. Let's see. Carrie, love you. What's up, Carrie? Kenny, so my man Kenny, what's up? Thank you for always having our backs, bro. Of course, man. Thank you for having ours. Because we have grown accustomed to if we call 911, somebody's going to come a running. So thank you for that. Oh, that's one of the officers that I had the pleasure of hanging out with at when I was doing my ride along, and he's the guy whose house I went to and kicked it. Okay, so let's see. Matrix Breaker. The police take the fathers out of the homes. At Jericho Green, you are so far behind in the race that you think you are in front. How do the police take fathers out of the homes? Do you mean when the police get called there, the father did something to get pulled from the home? Or are police just riding around saying, oh, hey, is that a dad in there? Let's go get him. Are the dads doing something to be removed from the home? I don't understand what that means. Police take fathers out of the homes. Well, yeah, if you call the police and they commit a crime, they're going to take you out of the home. They'll take the mom too. So, and you are so far behind in the race that you think you're in front. I don't know what the fuck that means. Maybe comment again and better explain yourself. Matrix Breaker, cool name. Battle Elf, police allowed cities to burn and arrested Kyle Rittenhouse. Look, man, it wasn't the police's decision to go arrest Kyle Rittenhouse. And if you want to blame somebody for allowing the cities to burn, it's the DAs and the politicians who, number one, let the criminals out after giving them but a slap on the wrist, and the mayors and the chiefs of police who tell their police officers to back off for fear of being called, that dirty R word that used to mean something. So the police didn't allow the cities to burn. What about the people that went out there and burned the cities? Is it the police's fault that those jackasses made the decision to get the Molotov cocktails and jump on top of cars and burn shit and punch store owners in Texas and knock them unconscious? Is that the police's fault? The police are a reactionary force. They have to be called. That shit is so stupid. Police allowed the cities. The dumb fucks who went out and burned the city allowed the city to burn. Fuck out of here. Okay, let's see. Sonia Stevens says one hit wonder, CNN Plus. That's right. One hitter quitter. See ya. My man Brian King B. Falcone. I hope I said that right. What's up, Jericho? You know how it goes. That's right, man. We all know. That's why we're here. We're all here to call out the bullshit. Refund airports for CNN. That's real, man. That's the only place I ever see. Or it's airplanes or somewhere where a TV is on. If there's a TV on, because I remember I used to take my son to a donut shop once a week when he was little, and they always had CNN on in their playing, but nobody was ever watching it. So anywhere like an airport or it has a TV running and nobody's watching, that's the only place you'll find CNN Plus. 300 million, and you could get a month out of that shit, man. I'd fire everybody. Everybody, man, you're all gone. Paul says CNN licking each other's tears. Yeah, they're licking other stuff too. I guarantee you that. Bunch of dirty bastards. Bunch of ODBs. Todd Terrell says they lost 100 million. And that's a lot of money, man. People have been killed for less than that. You got to go. You lost me 100 million. I own a business, and I own a business, and you cost me $100 million. You don't work here anymore. You don't work anymore. You got to change your employment. When somebody asks you, what's your work address? You're going to have to figure out a new one because it's not this one anymore. Eric Davidson, appreciate that, man. He says Nancy shit Losi. Yeah, man, she's disgusting. The liver spotted demon. She reminds me of Dudley Moore. Remember that perma drunk dude from the 80s? That she reminds me of. She's in her 80s. Why are you doing this in your 80s, woman? Boston Bob says, Jericho, could you imagine what DeSantis could do if he was running California? He'd do what he's supposed to do, just like he's doing in Florida. That'd be great. Can California borrow him first and then we loan him to the country as president? We damn sure like DeSantis to come over here and clean up this cesspool. Oh, and Matrix Breaker, here he is again. He says, DeSantis literally means the Satan. You people are like children. Yeah, okay. See you, buddy. J.R. Keelan, keep preaching. Hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate your generosity, bro. Good looking out. Yeah, man, as long as you guys are listening, I'll keep speaking. That's what it takes. We got to talk about it before we do it. But, yeah, man, this shit's crazy. And you get people like that. Do the police take the fathers out of the home? Come on, man. Winged Infinity says, I can moonwalk. Let's see it. Let's see. Jericho Green 2018 at gmail.com. Winged Infinity. Let me see them skills. B Whiskey says, Jericho, if the Republicans take the House and Senate, they have to get rid of Kevin McCarthy, a scumbag rhino. All them damn rhinos. The rhinos are worse than the lefties because at least we know where the lefties stand. At least we know. The rhinos are the wolves in sheep's clothing. They're getting in with the herd. You know, they're moving in with the herd. We're thinking they're sheep. They're wolves. Fuck all of them. Hope they get all of them out of there. Like, what's his name? Romney? Oh, come on, man. And who's the other one? Romney and McConnell. I got baby powder for both of them. Okay, so oh, let's talk about all right, let's talk about Zion Wade. So I did a video, and this I did this like 3 years ago or more. But that video, I think, is probably my highest viewed video. Last I checked, it was over like 650,000 views. But it was when Gabrielle Union, she's married to D Wade, took Zion Wade, the boy in question, to the Pride Parade in Miami. Oh, Pride Parade in Miami, 11-year-old? I don't think so. That's not right. That's not the place. So you can watch the timeline of this kid getting fucked up by his parents and his dad, who's neutered, who's a eunuch, and Gabrielle Union, the evil stepmother, who came in and destroyed this young man. And don't forget, people, like and sub, and like. So, you know, the photo shoot with People Magazine, and then Gabrielle Union worked on a show with like the Alphabet Soup group and shit. So this was her trophy kid. Remember back in the day when the actors would have the little African kids, they'd adopt little African kids as their little medallions. Their little, oh, look how cool I am. I adopted a kid from Africa. That was like a popular thing. Well, now it's virtue signaling, even though it might be at the cost of your child's sanity and sometimes their lives. And hanging out with Magic Johnson's son at a fashion show. And it led up to this. So last week, or I believe it was Easter, or no, Passover. So they were getting together and shit, and they posted these pictures, and it's pictures of them together. It's a collage. One of the pictures of them together. Another picture is Zion Wade. So they allow Zion Wade to be a transgender girl that they call Zaya. So for the purposes of this story and this story only, I will refer to this boy as Zaya. So Zaya, who is a transgendered girl, a boy who wants to be a girl, has a boyfriend who is a girl who is a trans boy. So you have a boy who's dressed like a girl and a girl who's dressed like a boy, and they're dating each other. So when you peel away all the layers of insanity, it's a boy who's dating a girl. So as I put it, they went around the block to go across the street. You make it all weird and at the detriment of these kids' mental state when it's just a boy dating a girl. When just because your kid, and these trans kids, over 80% of them change their mind and go back to identifying as a gender they were born as. Oh, that's another thing. Hold on, I gotta write this shit down before I forget. Okay, so just because they come to you with this does not mean you're supposed to flip your life upside down. And what you identify as a boy, you're 5 years old or 6 years old. Okay, what do you want to be called? Let's redecorate your room and call all their family members and tell them that you're a little boy now or a little girl now or whatever. But you don't have to play into that shit. You get that kid some help and you tell them, no, you're not. You are what you were born as. And we're going to do everything we can to help you realize that. And once you're out of here, and your address changes and you're an adult, I can only advise you. You do what you're going to do. But under this roof, we're not playing that shit, okay? Instead of doing that, to Virtue said, I have a trans kid. So they had to have their little trophy kid. So they shoved this kid down this path of being transgender. Well, one of the pictures that they posted is of Zaya kissing her boyfriend, who in actuality is a girl and he's a boy. But here's the problem, aside from the obvious. They're 14 years old. I have a problem with 14-year-olds dating. And as I said in the video, you might have some on-campus romance that I'm not privy to, but as far as you bringing a significant other up in my house, that's not happening. You're too young. Nope. Now, I'm not saying kids don't date each other when they're 14. I remember being 14. I remember the feelings. But I was too young to bring somebody to my house saying, this is my girlfriend. That's a no-go. And you not only post a picture of them kissing, that's fucking weird because they're too young to be doing that too. Now, again, kids are going to do what they're going to do, but they can't do it with our consent. We can't let them think that it's okay. And you're certainly not kissing in my house and in front of me. Imagine what the life this kid lives to think it's okay to kiss their significant other in front of their parents. I was married to my wife, and she was still weird about kissing in front of her dad. And that's okay, because now that I have kids, I get it. 14? At 14, your lips are only for helping food get in your mouth and form letters to speak. It's not for kissing in my living room. Are you okay? When you were coming in the house, did you trip and fall and strike your head on a stationary object to where you think it's okay for you to, number one, have a boyfriend that you speak of in front of me and want me to acknowledge, but even worse, that you think you can kiss in front of me, and then I'm going to take the pictures and post them online? Are you fucking crazy? There's no way in this world I would let that happen. Maybe in another world, there's all kinds of planets out there. I don't know what they're doing out there. But here on Earth, with an F, hell no. Like my dad would say, hell no. That was my dad's favorite phrase, or two words that he blended into one. Hell no. Man, please. Is there another parent behind me that you're talking to? Because you can't be talking to me. You cannot be with a straight face asking me if you could have a boyfriend, girlfriend, and you're certainly not kissing them in front of me. Gross. And to post this shit to the world. Who did they do that for? Were they trying to show trans love? Or were they trying to get more pats on their back from their disgusting, fucked up circle of friends? At what cost? Is the juice worth the squeeze? In this case, I don't think so. That poor kid. And if that kid were to do something to themselves, you know who they would blame instead of themselves? They'd blame us. You didn't accept them. That's another thing. That's a weak-ass argument to say that the reason these trans kids are killing themselves at 40% even after the surgery they think that they want, is because society didn't accept them. How fragile are they mentally to hinge their life on what a bunch of strangers think about them? Life is a, what's that song? Life is a highway. And we're on this highway, and the exit to get acceptance was back there. But we're still moving. We can't stop the whole procession so we can circle back, flip a big old bitch so you can go back and get the acceptance that your parents should have given you. We're past that exit. You don't come to the general public for acceptance. We're not in that business. We save our acceptance for the people in our circle, not for you. Now, there are basic decencies and manners we should have in public, of course. But acceptance, I'm not the one you need to come to for that. I can't give it to you. It's like having something that needs a battery, but I don't have the right size. You need AA. I got D batteries. I got batteries, but it's not the one that you need to help this work. My batteries are a different size. My batteries fit in something else. They don't fit in yours. You need to go back to the people who got the right size batteries for this object, for this thing that you need to power, this life. I don't got that shit for you. Sorry. Don't come to me for that. I stand behind this. Road trips. Go back to that parent or that person, that guardian who you were looking for that acceptance from. Rent a car. I don't know if you should do it now. Maybe wait till the gas prices go down. Get some snacks and hit the road. Start talking, start crying, start hugging. So you can get that acceptance and come rejoin our convoy with everything you need. Don't come to the general public for acceptance. And if you're so weak mentally, so frail mentally that my acceptance is going to kill you, I'm not the one you need the solution from. I can't help you. And the thing I wrote down so I didn't forget. So since we moved to a new area, before I do that, let me get this super duper now away. Carrie, what's up for that $5 sticker? I appreciate that. And just a man evaluating stuff. What's up? Jericho went in San Fran again. Rent a go-car. Fun. Okay. I'm looking at that shit. I can't say next time I'll be in San Fran shithole, aka Needles and Shit, California. But if I am, I will remember that. Let's see. The Salty New Eurekan. What's up for that $10 sticker? I appreciate that. And Christopher Graves. What's up, man? Christopher, not Chris. This man's professional. Here's some reparations for my white guilt, love and respect. Hey, man, that reparation shit, when are we going to let that go? How many times do you guys need to see them we'll get a council together to talk about it. We'll talk about reparations. We ain't ever going to do shit unless you're part of this 20 people in Palm Springs, California, where they're going to give you $600 to $900 a month for 18 months just for being who you are. Being born in America is a damn reparation. You ever heard of affirmative action? That's a reparation. Reparations do not only come in the form of a check from the government. The government sucks. They are inept at doing their job. Why would you want more from them? We need less from them. Who's going to pay it? Who's going to get it? Huh? How are you going to prove that you're a slave? Every person who's darker than a piece of office paper is not a slave, descendant of a slave. What about the Indian people? They were slaves. The Indians had slaves. You ever see that clip of Don Cheadle? He was getting his 23andMe read to him his results, and they told him his family was owned by Chickasaw Indians. That man who was reading the results should have helped him pick his chin up off the ground. He couldn't believe it. Okay, but anyway. So being that we moved to a new area, we have to get reestablished with a primary physician. And so I I went into the doctor today to get established. You know, they get a baseline for you. You get some blood drawn and take your vitals and all that kind of shit. But before you get to that, you get there, you always show up early because you got to do the new patient questionnaire. They got to start learning your history so they can establish a history at the new doctor's office. No problem. Showed up early, got my clipboard, my pen, because, you know, it's dirty pens, sanitized pens. So I got one of the sanitized pens, and I look at the clipboard and I start reading it. Now, what kind of questions do they usually have on a new patient questionnaire? You guys, I'm not a doctor. You've never seen me in a white coat, and you never will, okay? But I filled out a few new patient forms. And usually the questions are medically based. Your medical history. Have you ever had this disease? Have you ever suffered from this? Do you have a history of this in your family? When's the last time you did this? Do you smoke? Do you drink? You know, shit that has to do with your medical history. Keyword medical. Now hold on to that word as we traverse this story. Okay? Medical history. So I look at the clipboard and I'm looking for medical history questions, but I don't see any. Let me tell you what I did see. I saw, do you drink sodas and or energy drinks 3 times a week? Have you been hit, slapped, or kicked at home? Are you able to get fresh fruits and vegetables? And here are my favorites. Fortunately, there was an option that was yes, no, or skip. Guess which one I circled? Your race, your annual income, what gender were you assigned at birth? Are you transgender? And blah, 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 5 other things. What are your pronouns? What the fuck? What does that have to do with my medical history? Unless this is a gender reassignment office, none of these questions should be asked. Do you drink energy drinks? What the fuck? And maybe there is some medical explanation for these questions. Well, actually, Jericho, the reason they ask you about energy drinks, whatever, that shit didn't make any sense to me. I'm here to establish myself with a primary physician. What does it matter if I'm transgender? I'm sure during the examination, you'll figure that out for yourself. What does it have to do with your pronouns? Fuck your pronouns. You know my pronoun because one of the first questions you asked me was, what is the gender you were assigned at birth? They act like half of the population is transgender. It's less than 0.06 of the population. Is that enough to start rewording the new patient questionnaire? What are these people afraid of? Or are they being paid by some group so they're afraid if they don't jump through these hoops, they're going to lose their money? What is this shit? This is a teeny tiny portion of the population, but they're bending to them so much that I have a bunch of these questions on my new patient questionnaire, which has jack shit to do with my medical history. I'm here for medical shit. So are you asking me if I have a gun in my house? Why is that? Why do you need to know if I have a firearm in my home? That's weird. That's real fucking weird. Now, you want to know if I have a history of high blood pressure or some shit in my family, a history of this or that? Have you ever had these things? Have you ever had surgery? Okay, now you're talking. But if I've been slapped, kicked, or punched in my house, aren't you going to examine me? Won't you see if I've been slapped, kicked, or punched? That is some weird shit. That was the most awkward first patient questionnaire, new patient questionnaire I've ever filled out in my life. That shit was strange. Freedom isn't free. You damn right. Thank you very much. Says no white guilt here. Married to a beautiful black conservative over 22 years. 3 gorgeous kids. Only feel bad that I didn't give more. Love you, JG. You know what, man? I feel the same way too. We got neighbors, but they just had kid number 4. And I'm like, man, if only I knew then what I knew now. Because you get, as a man, sometimes you get caught up in, well, I want to be at this point in my life. I want to be established here before I marry her, before I propose. And my advice would be, if you know you want to marry that girl, marry her. She will help you build to the level you think you need to be at. You want to have a house or have all these things established before you ask her. You know you want to ask her? Ask her. Marry that woman. Start building that life. Spend a little time together. Enjoy being married. Build that foundation, because that plant won't get watered for a while once you have the kid. That's just the way it is. A woman has to recoup, heal. No matter how the baby comes out, there's some healing time. So, and the baby's gonna baby. Don't give a damn if you got 8 hours of sleep. It don't give a damn you just got home, what you're about to do. You just put your head on the pillow. Baby don't want to hear none of that. All the baby wants to hear is that door go, and that light come on, and you come in with a clean diaper or a full titty. That's all that baby wants. It's either got a gas bubble, it wants some titty, or it's dirty. So if you're not coming in there to do one of those three things, that baby don't care. Marry that woman. Don't wait. So you can have a bunch of babies. All the babies you want. We need to have more damn babies. Get married and make babies. That's it. That's what we need to do as a country. There's not enough of us. We need more. Get married, make a baby. And I love my kids. I'm so happy with my kids. Beyond happy. They're more than I could have asked for. But I wish maybe I would have started earlier and had more of them, because children are the greatest thing in the world. Hardest job you'll ever have. It's a unique relationship, because in every other relationship, if you are bringing whatever you're bringing to the table, that's what you expect back. Whether it's a business relationship or a relationship with a significant other, another person, any kind of relationship, the more you put into it, the more you expect back. But having a child is unique because you're giving everything to that child, and they're not able to give you anything back. And then they give you attitude and unfounded opinions. It's weird because you're putting your all into this person and they're giving you attitude. And you can't just wash your hands of them and walk away. So it's very unique in that way, but it's awesome. All the hard times, all the sleepless nights, all that shit is wiped away and forgotten when you come home and that kid runs up to you or they give you a hug. I love you, Daddy. I remember the day my daughter, she was 3 years old. She grabbed my face like this and said, I love you, Daddy. And that was it. My heart was firmly wrapped around her little finger. And all she has to do is, it'd be nice to have that. And whether it be Amazon or UPS, somebody's knocking on our door 2 days later with whatever she asked for. I'll deal with my wife later. I'll deal with the ramifications of buying her something else she doesn't need later. But man, it's a beautiful thing. Oh, before I get into that, Becca, what's up? A dub. Twomp. JG, you're the only YouTuber that I hit the like button before watching your videos. Thank you very much, Becca. Spread the word. So I mentioned in one of my videos last week that my daughter, your kids do the project where they're like the student of the week or whatever, and she brings home this big old storyboard, and she's supposed to draw pictures of her favorite activities and draw a self-portrait and a family picture and who's your hero. So she picked me as her hero. And so she turned it in on sometime this week, Thursday or Friday. And she picked me as her hero. So she filled it out and she read it, or I read it. She gave it to me to read. And she was saying that I love my daddy because I love to cook with my daddy. And he's my hero because he was in the Navy and he's very special. Sorry. A lot of dust in here, guys. She said, I'm a hero. Sorry about that, man. I need to get the dust taken care of in here. But it was a beautiful thing. It's awesome because life happens, especially you got other kids. They're doing all this shit, bedtimes, homework, discipline, raising them, teaching them. And you don't really check in to ask them, hey, what do you think of me? Am I doing a good job? Am I your hero? So it's good to hear those kind of things. And that's my baby girl. I said this a long time ago in a video, and people are like, I can't believe you said that. But if you're a parent and if you're not a jackass, you understand what I'm trying to say. But if someone said, in order to ensure your children's safety and happiness for the rest of their lives, you need to load this, you need to take the seats out of this bus, load it with puppies, and push it off of a cliff, I would do it without a second thought, because that's my baby girl. Christian, what's up, yo, Holzer? He said, parent, the hardest job you'll ever have. True that, man, but that love you get back, tell you, hanging out with them, you know, just chilling with them and talking with them and spending time with them, it's the fucking greatest thing in the world, man. I wouldn't trade anything for being a father, being able to shape a young person and put good people out in the world. That's, hey, get married and all up in each other, okay? Do that. Mike Tyson. What happened with Mike Tyson? Man, when I saw this shit, I had to do a double take. Who is talking shit and annoying Mike Tyson? Who else? A drunk asshole. So the other day, 420, he's coming back from San Francisco going to Miami. Did a 420 event. You know, he's a big weed smoker. Has that podcast, Hot Boxing, with Mike Tyson. And if anybody needs weed, Mike Tyson. So he takes a selfie with this dude, this drunk asshole. He didn't have to. Yes, these people are public figures and they're famous and they threw their hat in the ring, so to speak. But they're human. They have emotions and they have limits. So this jackass is on a plane, somebody's filming it, and this guy's talking shit, just incoherent, drunken babble. He's fucking with Mike Tyson. I haven't seen it on tape, but I've heard that the guy threw a water bottle at him because dude's running his mouth sitting right behind Mike Tyson. And I heard he threw a water bottle at him, whatever. It cuts to Mike Tyson over the seat behind him, hitting this fool. And after, you see he has two like little cuts and bleeding a little bit. So lucky. And I said in the video, those airplane seats need to be added to the list of life-saving equipment. Okay, smoke detectors, the jaws of life, things of that nature, because those seats saved his life. He couldn't get the right angle to get those punches in. The guy was probably leaning back against the seat, balled up if he had any sense. But those seats saved his life. They saved him from parking in a blue parking spot for the rest of his life. Because if you grew up in the 80s and 90s, if you are 35 or older, hell, I'll go 30 or older. You know what Mike Tyson was about. I remember going to Disney World when I was 15 in August. And let me tell you something, guys. I don't know if my parents picked that because it was the end of summer and the tickets were cheap. But don't ever go to Orlando, Florida, or the state of Florida in the month of August, okay? Because when I stepped off that plane, it was a shock to my system. I did not expect that. You know, when you get out of the bathroom and it's all steamy, turn that up by 1,000%, and then you're halfway to Florida humidity, okay? Wipe your forehead. By the time your hand gets over here, you're sweating again. Yeah, that humidity fucked me up. Every afternoon at 4:30, it rained. So we were there, August 1995. That's when Mike Tyson fought Peter McNeely. That was his first fight out of prison after serving time on a rape charge. Whether or not he did it, I don't know. But we do know that he served time for it. So his first fight, Peter McNeely. He beat Peter McNeely in 1 minute and 29 seconds. Do you know how hyped up this fight was? Do you know how excited the world was to see Mike Tyson enter the ring once again? And all we got was 1 minute and 29 seconds? But that's par for the course. That's what Mike Tyson does. It was a running joke. Everybody knew it. If you're watching a Mike Tyson fight, don't go use the bathroom. Because in 5 seconds, he's knocking this dude out. He's knocking all the sweat and hair products off of this fool. You knew that. Pee before the fight. Take care of your shit before the fight. You got all these people here, and let me know some stories in the comment section. You probably got some Mike Tyson pay-per-views, snacks and shit. Everybody's over there, pizza, barbecue, whatever you did. You're going to spend more time preparing and eating that food than watching the fight. Ding, ding. Boom. Fight's over, and that guy might be dead. Who is it? Trevor Burbage? Was that who that was? Some dude, he was wearing black trunks and black, he had like the black trunks with the tassels on them and shit, and like black boots, almost trying to dress like Mike Tyson. Man, he knocked that dude out of the ring. His legs, he had the baby horse legs. Fucking, he gave him the baby horse legs. His body wanted to pass out, but his legs were like, hold on, I got something left in the tank. Put me in, coach. So that's what Tyson did. So you're seeing this, and this dude looked young. Maybe he didn't know better. Maybe because he wasn't around when that feeling was in the air, when your options for entertainment were limited. You look forward to things like this. So maybe it was just something different for the time. But this dude's young. He didn't know shit. Maybe he didn't know. I'm just trying to help him out. Maybe he didn't know who he was fucking with. Maybe he had just heard stories. But he thought it was a good idea to fuck with Mike Tyson. And he's lucky he didn't get the Tyson we grew up watching. He got the 50-something, been through some shit in his life, smoked some Bud Tyson. Not the coke around his nose. Hey, get out of the limousine. Let's go, guys. Wrestling with a tiger in the front yard. You heard that story that Charlie Murphy told? All these limos pulled up to his house and nobody wanted to get out because there was a loose tiger. Loose, or lion. Not on a chain. Not that there's one big enough to hold him, but it was loose. That Tyson, the romper Tyson, the I'll kill your kids Tyson. He's lucky he didn't get him. Because he'd be like Stephen Hawking right now. He's going to need a computer to tell you what he needs. His body's going to be all atrophied and fucked up. He's lucky he got 2022 Tyson, not 1986 Tyson, post Robin Givens and Don King Tyson. Because the outcome would have been different. But like I said, I'm on Team Tyson. That dude was a jackass. What's your problem? Why are you being an idiot? And we've all run into that drunk idiot. Or we've seen that drunk asshole who needs his ass whooped. And that's what happened. So golf clap for Tyson. I saw people in the comments, oh, Tyson should have handled that differently. He's a trained fighter. Then why didn't that guy act differently? He knew Mike Tyson was a trained fighter. This is shared responsibility. That dude was a dumbass for egging him on and pushing him, whether he was looking for a payday or not. That was stupid, and that was your fault. You're lucky it ended the way it did. You deserve more. Tyson should have waited until you got off of the plane where he had some room, where he can soften that rib cage up. We can tenderize those kidneys. Could you imagine some drunk fool squaring up with Tyson even now? And he just gets that sidestep and just, you know, like when a fighter jet or something breaks the sound barrier, the sonic boom, and there's like that cloud around the plane. It's like a cloud that goes around it because it's cutting through the air. That's what you would see around Mike Tyson's fist, that sonic boom cloud. And his dumbass would be like, and it would just, this shockwave that would go through that boy's body. You know, you get in a car accident, your body comes to a stop, and then all your internal organs got to stop too. That's what would happen to that kid. I've heard, statistics, an airbag hitting you is like getting a punch from Mike Tyson. That's an explosion. I wish that Tyson would have waited till they got off the plane and delivered a body shot to that dude that would change his frame of mind. That would change the way he sees the world. It would change the way he sees color. Just a nice, perfect, feet planted, shoulder width apart, turn with the hips. Remember those pictures you see in Sports Illustrated of Mike Tyson connecting with some dude, and all of his muscles were flexing, and you could see all the sweat start to separate from this dude's head. That, just the perfect textbook punch to your rib cage. He would have been walking around the airport. That's what he should have got. That dude's a total dumb asshole. Jive Turkey USA, don't harass Mike Tyson. Exactly. Exactly. Have we learned nothing? Laura VS says, I love the way Tyson handled this. He was perfect. Exactly. What are you talking about? We doing that stupid shit. Welty78. What's up, Jericho? What's up, Welty78? Pinball. Saw that video. Dude gets his ass kicked. Yeah, that's what he deserved. You stupid ass. Diesel. Just hope Mike Tyson doesn't get in trouble over it, which it looks like the guy ain't pressing charges. Well, until his family and friends start getting in his ear about suing him. They probably will, bunch of assholes. You know that dude. But I hope maybe the dude has enough character where he's like, no, that was my B. That was my bad. I should have done it. I hope he does. He's a young man, but I hope he has the character to not do that. But if so, I hope he gets a judge who grew up watching Mike Tyson fights, because then he'll be like, oh, man, you got away lucky. Get out of here. Get out of here, you ass. Dog, Jericho, your etiquette is so eloquent. LOL. Thank you. Bonnie Archie says he'll end up suing Mike. I promise you. I hope you're wrong. I hope you are. Dave the Mace says, I like Mike. Me too, man. I think most people do back up Mike. Could he have handled it differently? Yeah, I guess so. But should he have? No. Idiot. And I'm just imagining how many people Mike Tyson's had to deal with. He knew this dude was a drunk asshole. He was trying to be cool. He was probably trying to diffuse the situation, because had he said, nah, man, I don't want you, that probably would have set him off. He was trying to be cool, and then he took his kindness for weakness. Stupid ass. Crazy Horse says, I know that boy watched YouTube's Tyson's best knockouts. You're right. Maybe he did. But like I said, he wasn't alive at the time. He didn't feel it. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson came with a sense of danger. Maybe the only clips he saw was hot boxing with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson on Joe Rogan. Mike Tyson just smoking with you. No, I'm not like that anymore. I don't do those kinds of things anymore. Up on the rooftop, playing with his fucking pigeons. Maybe that's the Tyson he thought he was getting. Maybe he thought this was just a soft old man who likes birds. Wrong. I bet you that fool. I bet you he watches those highlights now. Mike Tyson's best knockouts. He'll be like, "Oh shit, man, I did get lucky. I'm sorry, Mr. Tyson." The Creek, JG, you're my hero. Also, thank you, man. Appreciate that. None the Miser, Glass, Joe Biden, man. Robin's review says Evander Holyfield's ear got bitten off. It sure did. I remember that shit too. I remember he pulled it. He was jumping up and down like, what the fuck? Tyson's like, he put it so close to my mouth. So, yeah, let's talk about Biden's, I call it Biden's bunny bailout. Oh, shit, people. So this is the reason I say, or the title of the live stream is, the Easter Bunny is our real president. Because, as we all saw, and like I said at the end of my video, who else saw this? The world. Shit. So, Easter, was it on Easter or the day after Easter? Either way, Easter egg hunt, White House, 2022. Biden is over by the reporters, and the video, all the videos I've seen it from different angles, but it starts with Biden talking about, you hear him start talking about Afghanistan. And that must have been one of the buzzwords, because there was somebody in an Easter Bunny outfit hanging out nearby and came over. And as soon as he started talking about Afghanistan, that bunny literally got between Biden and the reporters and was putting their hand over like, this way, sir, come over this way. And Biden turned and was like he was shocked. Like he didn't expect someone in a bunny suit to be there. Or maybe he thought it was the real Easter Bunny. We don't know. This is Biden we're dealing with. So He goes, you see the person like, oh, no, this way, sir. Let's get out of here. Reporters. And so he, hey, what? And they take him off to the side. And then either before or after this, on the same day, there's footage of Jill Biden sitting next to him. They're on some kind of balcony or something. And they get done reading or talking or whatever. And she goes, you hear her say, just wave. Like she's like, just wave. Like, just wave, Joe, just wave. And he's like, okay, we are the world. You know, whatever. He starts waving. Like, that's something you see, like a woman, they've been married for years and the husband gets dementia. And so she starts taking care of him. We had this couple that would come in, and Sharon and what was his name? Sven. That was the name. Sharon and Sven, right? And they've been married since before color TV. Like, they've been way back in the day. But he developed dementia. And so she would come in to the store I used to work at. Oh, come on over here, Sven. Sven, no, put that down, Sven. We already have those. You can't eat those, Sven. You know, and what a mind fuck that must have been for her to go from partner to caretaker to watch her husband, the love of her life, deteriorate like that. Man, that shit is sad. But it got worse. It got to the point where Sven, he'd come around the corner. Have you seen her? Who? This lady, she's following me. And it would be his wife. Sven, I'm not following you. Come on, honey. Saddest shit in the world. But that's what this felt like. It felt like she was watching her husband suffer from dementia right in front of her. Wave, Joe, wave. Like, what? Why do you have to tell him to wave? Isn't that naturally what you would do in a moment like that when you're ending something? You know, you're doing public speaking, and it's the presidential goings on of a president. It's what you do, fool. You should know. You were in the White House for 8 years watching this fool. I just got hit up by my man C. Braley, the officer I went out on the ride along with. He asked me was I live. I was like, hell yeah, man, you better get in here. But why would she have to tell him that? You were in the White House for 8 years watching what the president does. Part of the job is you wave. And why does she know that and you don't? She's the first lady. She's not the president. What the fuck? She's the first lady. Who has less to do in the White House than the first lady? But she knows when you're supposed to wave. And would you ever see with any other president, let's just go with the last two before him, could you imagine Trump or Obama needing someone in a rabbit costume, the Easter Bunny costume, to cut them off from taking questions? You imagine someone in an Easter Bunny costume getting between Trump and somebody he's talking to? He'd probably take the rabbit head off and be like, what the fuck is your problem? Who was that? Was that, I don't think it was Secret Service. Maybe it was. Or is the Secret Service responsible for that? Or is that more of like a PR assistant, you know, his team kind of thing? I don't know. I don't know who the fuck was under there. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see the footage of them getting inside the White House and taking that fucking head off and holding it under their arm like, whoo, got to get back out there and watch Joe before he starts saying some stupid shit to the reporters. Like, are you serious? Are you serious, man? Oh my God. Hold on. Let me, oh man. I don't know if it's going to fuck it up if I try to reply to him. Let's see. I'm going to try to reply to C. Braley. Tell him to hit me up when he's in here. Hold on, guys. Bear with me, okay? Hope I don't mess this up. Okay, did I mess it up? No, I didn't. I'm back, people. Thought you got rid of this space, huh? But yeah, that shit was weird, man. Just like and it doesn't matter how you feel about him. It doesn't matter whether you love or hate him, agree or disagree with him. You wouldn't see this. You would not see this with any other president. You just wouldn't. They wouldn't allow it. It wouldn't be necessary. And why are they in a bunny costume? It would have been less weird if they were just dressed normal and like, all right, sir, come on. We've seen that too many times. How many times do you have to see somebody come this way, sir? Remember he was at that bullshit G20 waste of time summit? And he didn't even know which way to go to get out there? Which way is it? You know what they should do? Just walk around and spray, leave a trail of 8-year-old pheromones. He'll follow you. He'll follow you. That's how you get that fool to pay attention. We've seen it before, so why would they have to put him? I know it's the Easter and shit, but that's not the real Easter bunny they were using. That's obviously part of his staff that's trying to bail him out from saying stupid shit. That don't make any sense, man. That shit's weird. Shout out to my man, Officer Braley. See Braley all day. I think he's in here now watching. You can go back and watch the beginning, man, but since you're here, I just want to let you know what an experience it was being on that ride-along, seeing the other side. We only see police in small little windows, little snippets where they pull us over in traffic, or we see one of them in traffic passing by or dealing with somebody else. But to actually spend time and watch what they do and know that a large portion of what they do is building relationships. It's not just, woo, get over here, handcuffs, cuff and stuff, get him out of here, book him, Dano. It's more than that shit. These people build relationships. They're human. And to watch all those different calls, and I already knew that what the left and all these blue check mark dumbass pieces of shit tell us about police is not true. I knew that, but to see it in action is even better. And as I mentioned before, the last call we took, those shots fired, those cops were doing chest compressions trying to save that boy's life. They were trying to save him. If they were these racist boss hogs that they tell us that are just killing black and brown bodies, then why would they try to save his black or brown life? Why would they do that? Why would they waste their time? That's one less of them to deal with. They'd be doing themselves a favor. But no, they didn't do that. They tried to save that kid's life. And they run into these kids all the time. They watch these kids grow up and become worse and worse. They watch them from kids grow up being little babies kids and little bastards to growing up and being real hardcore criminals. So why would they try to save them? Oh, that's right. They're human. Forgot about that. In the last live stream I did, I talked about a story that I heard that they told me about the guy in Starbucks who decided that was a good place to strip off his clothing, jam 3 things up his ass, and get a good jerk in. Now, of course, you hear a story like that, go back and listen to that live stream. It's disgusting. I don't want to retell that story. It was absolutely disgusting. So you would think somebody that strips down, puts stuff in their ass, and jerks off on the bathroom floor of Starbucks, that guy's going to get locked away for a while. Maybe the rest of his life. And he did that 7 hours after being released. So obviously he didn't learn. So you think somebody who proves time and time again that they're perverted and dangerous, that we need to put them away. No, guys, remember, we got to take care of the criminals. We got to look out for them, not you, not the taxpayer who pays for all this shit. We got to look out for the criminal. They're more important than you. So was that guy thrown away as he should have been? No, guys. He was released. What did he do? He robbed an old lady with a razor blade. So what do these people have to do to be put away for life like they should be? Probably wait until he kills somebody. Even though he's had red flag. This dude has maroon flags. These are deeper red than red. Red flag after red flag after red flag. Nah, let him out. Let him out. Till he kills somebody. Oh, then we'll do something. Absolutely disgusting. And finally, Florida. Yes, Florida. Damn it. How did you guys go from meth and gators to being a beacon for the rest of the country? I don't know, but you did it. You did it. Hold on. Let me get some supers out of the way. Christian, a Canadian connection. Yo, hoser, what are you talking about? Social media made y'all way too comfortable with disrespecting people and not getting punched in the face for it. Mike Tyson. That's right. Hey, don't come after me, Mike. You have my respect. Ain't no way in the world I fuck with Mike Tyson. No, thank you. That could prove to be detrimental to your face. Josh W., thank you very much. Jericho, love your channel. Loaded question: will there be a red wave in November, or will the lib turds successfully cheat again? No, I think as far as the House and the Senate, I think we'll take them. And maybe there will be a red wave. But what are we going to do with this red wave? Are there going to be real Republicans in there looking out for us, maximizing this red wave? Or are we going to have a bunch of rhinos in there who are just doing the bidding of the turds that we just ran out of there? So will there be one? Yeah. But don't count the left out. They are trapped animals. They are in a corner. They are desperate. And they will hurt anything that is going against their power. So don't underestimate their ability to distract us, or their ability to have these other things happen to keep us not focused on taking their power away, which is exactly what they fucking deserve, because they prove time and time and time again that they don't know what to do with it. Again, my Canadian connection. Thank you, Jericho. Something to think about. And meet up, all of us fans hanging out. I think it would be a great time for all. Somebody last week mentioned that. I was thinking of maybe doing something in Sacramento, Sacktown, because it's a pretty big, area, and it's pretty close to me. So believe me, I'm thinking about it. True Business, the super sticker. Thank you very much. Let me read something else here. That's right. My man C. Braley hit me up again. And again, go do a ride along, people. Even if you support law enforcement, do it. And especially if you don't. You talking all that shit, saying, remember when Biden got out there and said, man, just shoot him in the leg. Man, fucking dummy. You can't do that. And if you do shoot him in the leg, guess what? There's this pesky thing called the femoral artery. Sean Taylor, anyone? Look up how he died. So Florida, they went ahead and gave Disney some of this across their mouth because Disney couldn't keep their fucking nose out of their business, and now they're going to pay. So back in the day when Disney wanted to build Disney World in Florida, Florida gave them all of these exemptions and everything, and basically cut through the red tape so they could build it quickly and bring commerce and jobs and stuff to Florida and to build Disneyland. They were doing this to help them get Disney World up and running as soon as possible. And it allowed them to build quicker. It allowed them to run their business like a business and not be bogged down with all the bureaucracy of certain kinds of permits and all this kind of shit. So what they should have done is kept their mouth shut. But since they wanted to interject themselves in things they had no business, now Florida is focusing their light on you and looking at, well, Disney, what's up over here? Oh, you don't need this anymore. We can repeal that shit. That's from a long time ago. That's outdated. And now Disney's going to have to start paying because they couldn't mind their own business. So what is Disney upset about? And here's something I read a little while ago before I got on here. They remade Toy Story. For some reason, they thought it was a good idea to make Buzz Lightyear a black woman. I don't know if they kept the name. They're calling this woman Buzz Lightyear, but stop. Okay, Buzz Lightyear has already been established as a toy. I guess you could call him a white man. It's a toy. We all know what Buzz Lightyear looks like. Leave that shit alone. Of course, they changed it. And there was a scene where Buzz Lightyear, the new Buzz Lightyear, she looks like Queen Latifah from Set It Off with some cornrows. There was a scene where she kissed another chick and they pulled the scene from the movie. Why'd you even make that scene, Disney? But they put the scene back in the movie to thumb their nose at the state of Florida for having the parental rights bill, which says that you can't talk about or teach gender identity or things of a sexual nature to children between the ages of 5 and 9. Who has a problem with that? If you have a problem with that, if you want children to be taught these things and to talk about these things, there's something wrong with you, not the people who don't want them to. Between 5 and 9 years old, they're not ready. They're not ready. You won't even eat chicken if it's not ready. But you're going to start teaching a child about this shit before they're ready? That doesn't make any sense. Back off, leave these kids alone. Let their parents do the heavy lifting. You get the easy shit. Reading, writing, colors, math, science. Why don't you teach them how to put some food coloring and vinegar into a volcano with baking soda in it instead of talking about non-binary? That's a little too heavy for their little minds. Leave them the fuck alone. But they call it the Don't Say Gay bill, where that's not even what it's about. It's giving rights back to the parents and saying, you don't have the right to teach my kids heavy shit like this. It's fucking weird. You're failing at the other things you're teaching them, and you're bringing on new shit. So Disney was like, oh, we're going to boycott, and we're going to stand up, and we're going to talk, and we're not going to do this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Florida said, what? You're a California-based company. Your morals are all fucked up. You had somebody who works for Disney. They're in charge of children's programming, and that term, that title means a whole new thing now. But she says she's an asexual romantic, which means she's into romance with herself or some weird shit. Bottom line, stay away from kids. You're fucked up. What's her name? Something Disney, one of the Disney heirs. She wants to do all this weird alphabet soup group, Ku Klux trans shit to the kids too. But that's going to make you go out of business because parents don't want you perverting their kids. Who do you think's buying the tickets to Disneyland, dummy? You think these kids got jobs? You think they're taking out credit cards and saving up money and planning vacations? It's the parents, fool. You need to cater to us. Do what we want because we got the wallet. Maybe that's what they think. Maybe they think the kids are bringing home the bacon now. No, the kids just eat it. They don't bring it home. We do. We come to you for entertainment, not indoctrination. You got it all wrong. So because of that, Disney is going to lose some of their tax exempt status. They're going to lose some of these things they've been enjoying. Some of these things that have been saving them money. Some of the things that allow their business to run smoothly. They don't have to go to the city or the state to fix things. They can do it. They have the infrastructure. Disney got everything under control. They got maintenance, security, everything. But now you're not going to be able to do all that. Now you're going to have some of that power taken away because you couldn't mind your fucking business. And it's so weird. Why would Disney, damn, Disney, we trusted you. We grew up on you. We used to put a Disney movie on and leave the room for a minute. Oh, they're watching this? Cool. We can go do so. I'll be right back. Let me go do this and leave you in here in front of this wholesome Disney movie. But we can't do that. You messed that all up. You started trying to make the characters do all this weird shit. You started getting involved in things. If it ain't about business, stay out of it. Now you got the focus on you. Now you fucked it up. Again, go Florida. Again, Florida's leading the way. We used to laugh at them. If somebody read a weird headline, you go, oh, Florida. Florida. What happened? She put 8 cucumbers in her boyfriend's ass and then poured hydrochloric acid on his face. Florida. Now it's, parental rights bill. Florida. Flipping the bird to another woke corporation. Florida. Now, I hope does DeSantis have any brothers? You got cousins. If you got DeSantis as your last name, I want to interview you to run our state and run our country. Because the boy's onto something. And that's another thing. Disney, you're not thumbing your nose at the Florida state government. You're not saying fuck you to Ron DeSantis and the state Senate and all that stuff. That's not who you're saying it to. You're saying it to Floridians because they voted for this. DeSantis is just doing what his constituents want, what a politician's supposed to do. So that's who you're flipping the bird to. That's who you're thumbing your rat nose at, are the people of Florida. The people of Florida who have kids that they take to your parks and pay way too money to get into and be in all day. Food, souvenirs. I can only imagine what a bottle of water costs. That's who you're screwing over. That's who you're saying you don't care about. You don't care about. Not him, not Ron DeSantis. He's going to sleep fine tonight. You're saying fuck you to the people of Florida, and that's going to be a problem. You don't bite the hand that feeds your stupid ass. You don't bite the hand that tosses you a piece of cheese. But that's what you did, and you will pay. So, before I get up out of here, remember, like and subscribe and like, Recoil TV, Rumble, Spotify, Julie, and Five Bones. Thank you. If power grid / internet / phone or censorship gets extreme, I want to have meeting places where conservatives can link up, but no idea how to do that. Start it now. Start reaching out to people now before that shit happens. Because that's the last thing they want is for us to communicate and get together and put our ideas together and formulate a plan to take our power back from them. They can't have it. They won't have it. Again, Julianne, thank you. Disney and Nickelodeon have had so many convicted pedophiles and molesters, men that molested kids on set, went to jail, got out and rehired on set again. Yeah, they just had a bust, child trafficking ring, sex trafficking ring with some people from Disney who were arrested. Hello, makes sense. Pervert's dream, a child-centric business. Well, that's what they used to be. Now they're woke-centric. That's okay. We'll be waiting for you in the unemployment line. We'll ride by, throw a couple coins in your cup, Disney, you bastards. So, as I said before I get out of here, I wanted to show the new Recoil Presents Concealment. RecoilWeb.com issue 26. There we go. Boom. Very good magazine. You can also check out my content on Recoil TV. But shout out to my man, John S., who sent this to me in the mail. So excited. Let's see. Starts on page 22. It's called The Defenders. Where is it? Page 22. There it is. The Defenders. Boom. All right, let's go. Page 22. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There it is. Your boy. So basically, hold on, there we go. Got my Mossberg 500 down there. That's my girl's big birthday. But basically, they sent me a questionnaire and it asks you to describe your residence and its occupants as it relates to protective or defensive decision making. How does your home / neighborhood environment affect your choice of home defense beside bedside firearm and defense items? Describe each of your home defense bedside items and explain your home defense philosophy. So it's very cool. Man, John reached out to me and I filled out the questionnaire, took a little pic, and this is the edition that it's in. Let's see. So it says, describe your home defense bedside items. Mossberg 500 Tactical Persuader. That's Big Bertha. There's a confidence that I have when handling that gun. You know the job will get done every single time. I added a forward grip to her too. So you want to check out the rest of that article. And they have other ones in here. And all the people, all the same. They show, their bedside defense weapons, their neighborhood, their house layout, their home layout. She's a business manager, entrepreneur, chief firearms instructor at Modern Defense. You got another guy, he's an Amazon delivery service partner. Another guy is retired FBI law enforcement. So it's a nice variety of people. All kinds of different things they have in here: holsters, concealed carry, open carry, all kinds of shit. Check it out. Recoil magazine, concealment issue 26. Your boy is on page 26. Look, Ma, I made it. So please check that out. And also, again, my content on Recoil TV, description box. My man Josh W., again, thank you. Said, whatever inspired you to create your channel. I thank you. Lots of bad days here. I laugh my butt off at your stories and daily observations. Thanks, Jericho. I will tell you what made me start my channel. I was washing my car one day and I was listening to ESPN. I think it's called First Take or something like that. Whatever. It used to be with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. And they were going on about how hard it was to be a quarterback in the NFL for a black person. And oh my goodness. And the racism and all this bullshit. And I just thought it was stupid. The league minimum is like 600 grand. What are you talking about? You're a quarterback. What's the worst part of being an NFL quarterback? You can't go out in public because too many people want your autograph. It was just stupid. It was something so dumb to be tripping over, and it was a lie. You know how hard it is to get into the NFL? If you can win, you're in. They don't give a damn what you look like. Look at Mike Tomlin. How long has he been the fucking coach of the Steelers? Forever. Because he wins. Don't give a damn. You got a chance to be the 49ers from the 80s or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the 80s. No, I don't want it. We'll just be in the basement for 25 years because we don't want to hire that black quarterback. Shut your mouth. If you can win, you're in. That's all they care about because wins equate to money, and that's what they want. They want more asses in the seats, more overpriced beers and hot dogs sold. Their mistresses' new titties are not going to pay for themselves. They want money. And if you can bring them that money, they give a damn what you look like. And that's the truth. But thank you very much, everybody. As usual, tomorrow, Saturday, my son has T-ball. And guess what, everybody? The T-ball game starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. And they said, hey, if you want to help come set up, if you want to come help us set up, be there at 7. So, of course, I got to go help set up. Damn it. It's early. But I will be there, which means I must go now and get a good night's sleep. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for your super chats. Thank you for your time. Thank you for making me a part of your Friday evening. I appreciate that. And for that, I will be here every time, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. You know how it goes. You know, unfortunately, we all know how it goes. Hold on one second. Let me get a few more. Our boy Hemingway says later, JG, 7 it is. Ron Baker says carry 24/7. You damn right. Night, bro. Thanks. Thank you, David V. Good night, all. All right. Again, thank you for all your super chats. My man Brian King B. Falcone. Fire. I hope it was. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass over to JerichoGreen.net. I am Jericho Green. Man up. Out.